Hey, what's up? It's Ryan.
It's Ryder.
And we just watched Rampage, starring The Rock.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. And I know it was just more mindless action like you always get out of his movies. However, you got to know what you're going to see.
Yeah.
You can't judge something like this like it's the second coming of Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Again, it was just total mindless mayhem like you would expect from a Rock movie.
Fighting.
Yeah. And I think this is the part where we say beware of spoilers.
Yeah. This might be kind of useful.
Just paying for parking.
Yeah.
There we go. Parking paid. Anyway, yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was fun. Not gonna lie, I think I only played the Rampage games from the arcade, NES, maybe Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, and I know I had one for the Wii. I don't know if there were references in the movie to later versions of the game or not. Maybe there was. I'm not sure. But
Not quite sure about it.
yeah, The Rock is awesome. Jeffrey, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the plot went really well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good adaptation of a
Video game.
a mindless 80s video game.
Yeah.
It special effects are really good. I thought it was a better story. I mean, I'm a big Transformers fan. 80s Transformers, a G whiner like some people like to say. But as far as like you know, mindless action movies go, I thought this told a much better story than Michael Bay's Transformer movies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like, I love that guy, but you can't, if you've watched Walking Dead, you can't unsee Negan in his character. You just can't. I mean, he's so, you're waiting for him to be a bad guy, and he pretty much turns out to be a good guy in this one.
Yeah. And he tries to play a totally different character, being like this big old like military cowboy.
Yeah.
But you can still just like hear that bit of Negan. Yeah,
and he's got that same like swagger and just, well, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, what'd you think?
I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Fun is a good way to describe it. I can't believe, I don't know how often trains come through town, but I swear every time we're doing one of these movie talks on the way home, we get stuck at a train crossing.
Yeah.
I hardly ever hit a train crossing when I'm driving around town any other time. Yeah. And now we're 3 for 3. Yeah. It's actually the train stop up at the next, well, we're gonna be through this intersection here in just a minute. In fact, we got some daylight, so we can actually maybe see it this time. I'm gonna pull the camera out. Oops, sorry. Get my thumb in your face. There we go. See, we're sitting here at the train crossing. Guy standing over here is gonna be on YouTube, doesn't even know it. I don't know which way the train's coming from.
Can't tell. I think it's coming from the right.
Dang, that sun's wicked. Anyway, well, we're sitting here waiting for the train to cross. Oh, it's pulling out of the station. There we go. Okay, back to the movie talk. Okay, so what'd you like about it?
I just kind of liked mindless giant monsters fighting.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite thing about it.
Okay.
I've said before as well, I'm a huge fan of giant monster movies. I liked the Pacific Rim movies, and I've liked pretty much every Godzilla movie. Okay. So I just like watching giant monsters, you know, ham-fisted out. And with this one, even though they fought for like a little bit, it was still very enjoyable. Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen, oh, if you guys go see this movie, crap, I don't even remember, was it Claire? That's right, I wanted to look up and see who that actress was because she looked familiar. Yeah. One of the kind of the bad guys that was the owner of the big bad corporation, her and her brother in their office when they're talking, if you keep an eye out on the background, you'll see an old Rampage arcade cabinet. And there's another arcade cabinet next to it, and I leaned over and asked Ryder if he could tell what it was, and I
didn't
you
see
could.
it.
Yeah,
I only saw the Rampage one. That's what I pointed out.
So there is a second arcade cabinet. I'd be curious to know what that one was, if it was a reference to other Rampage games, or yeah.
It might have been like World Tour or something.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know if they ever released that in the arcade.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah. And they did make a reference to the wolf being named Ralph.
Yeah. And George being George.
Well, yeah, they called him George in the trailers, but
they never called the crocodile Lizzie.
No.
Which I kind of found sad.
I'm gonna just call him Negan. I don't even remember what. Oh, Russell?
Yeah, Russell.
Was that his name? So Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character in the movie was Russell, and he said the internet junkies or internet goofballs or whatever had started referring to the wolf as Ralph. So that was just a little nod to the original game, with no other explanation than internet nerds had deemed him Ralph.
And then they just told him George. I'm kind of sad. I feel like if they put it on DVD, they're gonna have deleted scenes where they reference Lizzie or whatever.
Yeah, they could, huh? That would make sense.
And you pointed out that the giant rat. There was a giant rat at the very beginning, and you said you think it was a reference to. I think
World Tour or the Universe Tour or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure I saw a giant rat or a giant mouse. So yeah, at the very beginning of this movie,
there was a giant lab.
They were up in like a space station or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm assuming doing their experiments with the chemical that makes the animals grow really big. And there was a big CRISPR. There you go.
That's what I called it.
Well, I think that's what they called it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a giant rat, and I think that was a reference to a later Rampage game.
Yeah. I liked how a lot of them had different powers instead of them just being giant.
Right.
Like the wolf had like some weird like porcupine thing.
Oh yeah, he could shoot his little
like out of his
quills.
tail.
Yeah, that's right.
And Lizzie, I'm just gonna refer to the crocodile as Lizzie. Lizzie,
right.
What did Lizzie have? I think Lizzie was just huge.
Just huge, like way bigger than the other two, than George and Ralph.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool how they kind of brought. Sorry, I didn't realize this person was stopping for somebody here. They started kind of the Rampage out with just Ralph and George, and then Lizzie came in later. Kind of like the old arcade game, because it was like a 3-player, and if just you or you and a friend started and then somebody else came up, they could always like enter the melee as a third character.
Yeah, and in the original NES, it was just Ralph Ralph wasn't. It was Lizzie and George.
Yeah.
Ralph.
And I think that was just the limitations of the NES. I think that was just they eliminated.
I mean, they could have also just had like a third like choosable character.
Yeah, but I mean, back then they only had so much room for information on those cartridges.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. If you've ever popped open a Nintendo cartridge, they're like this big, and I bet only an eighth of that has like a chip in it. They're full of a ton of empty space, so there's plenty more room to add add things, but that's beside the point, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. We're almost home. If you want a mindless movie, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things to say about it. I know as we were watching it, I kept thinking, oh, I want to remember this, I want to remember that. I would have liked to have seen them climb the side of the building a little bit more and like punch at the windows and like pull things out.
You kind of saw Lizzie just like go through them. Like more.
And maybe that's how they destroyed movies in later versions of the games. But I'm really stuck on the 80s Rampage just because that was my jam right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a lot of fun to watch.
And
the story's pretty simple and easy to follow.
Yeah, it just there was this weaponized genetic mutation DNA thing that basically got loose and
put all these things into it and whatever got
all these DNA versions of DNA from different animals, like all their strengths, whether bats and sonar and speed of a cheetah.
Yeah, and then like the regeneration of an African something spider.
Oh, that's right, huh? I forgot about that part.
Yeah, which I think is what George had.
Yep. Anyway, those are our immediate thoughts after seeing Rampage. I really enjoyed it, and I think you enjoyed it too, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so next week Sorry, that's my stereo beeping when we shut the ignition off. Next week we're gonna go see Avengers.
Yeah.
Infinity War. I kept calling it Xfinity War. Xfinity's our cable company.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed our conversation. It was kind of quick and not a whole lot to say about a mindless monster movie that just destroys everything.
Yeah.
But Rock is great. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is great. The special effects are great. You know, it's not a deep story. It's not going to change your life, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.